Hello and welcome back to the La Project with me, your host Han Royani, and my co-host
BJ, what's up?
What's up? So we are the La Project. We are a facetious podcast that talks about political news around the world and in Malaysia.
Yep.
I mean, we're not exactly newscasters, so don't take us too seriously. I mean, make your own research.
Yep.
If you listen to us talk about certain topics or subjects that you think are quite sensitive and you think we are wrong, you can let us know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Comment.
Yeah, just comment and just go on our YouTube, comment there, or on our Instagram. You can also comment there. So
dude, healthy debate leads to
healthy
a healthy
debate.
society.
Yes.
Yep.
We both of us are from the right and also the left-leaning side. So we try to cover a bit of everything, and obviously La stands for love and hate in this podcast. So
I think that there's one thing that people don't grasp yet, especially in Malaysia, because like it's always, I think part of it is due to our education system as well, where we're taught that every problem has a final answer, has a
solution,
has a concrete answer, you know. But in life, especially when you talk about things that involve culture, that involve politics, and involves a demographic of close to 30 million people by now in Malaysia, like you don't get clear cut right and wrongs.
It's not as nuanced.
It's more nuanced.
It's more nuanced.
It's more nuanced. Yeah. So you know, I think a little part of what we try to do is try to insert that nuance into the conversation. You know,
right.
like understanding that while we both are from different ends of the spectrum, we are actually a lot closer on the spectrum than people realize.
There's a lot more in common between us than what separates us.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about our first topic for today.
Okay.
It's one of the big ones, I would say, that have crept around newspapers and news outlets.
Yep.
So in the next few weeks, or in the next month, if I'm not mistaken, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, he will be, Donald J. Trump, he will be visiting Malaysia on the invitation of our PMX, Anwar Ibrahim.
Datuk Sri
Anwar Ibrahim.
Yes, correct.
So there have been a lot of resentment.
Yes,
I would say.
Yeah. A lot of pushback.
A lot of pushback. A lot of people were saying, why are we inviting someone
especially
like
the
Donald
people
Trump?
from PAS and all that.
Yeah, I mean not just PAS.
Not just that.
Not just
but,
PAS, but people all over Malaysia. They were like wondering why are we inviting Donald Trump? I mean, on one side, I understand that he is one of the most powerful persons. Like he is the President of the United States. He has so much power, so much leverage over so many other countries.
Yep.
Probably the most powerful person in the world.
Yeah. In the discussion for sure.
Yeah. And a lot of people were unhappy about the fact that he is coming because of his viewpoints or because of his stance. Basically, because he is very, he's not for the cause of the Palestinians.
Yep.
He has helped out.
Very big ally of Israel.
Yep. And he has made some would question Islamophobic comments in the past. So a lot of people were,
especially after that speech at the UN last week. You know? So
we'll cover that.
We'll come to that. Yeah.
But a lot of Malaysians were unhappy about that because we're inviting this person in. Yeah. But you know, what would you say about the fact that
if you ask me, obviously I don't have any concrete evidence of this. Not say concrete evidence, but I don't have any behind the scenes knowledge, you say. But if you ask me, my opinion is that he's been invited here. I don't think it's an invite in the traditional sense. I think it was more of a self-invite. That's one thing. very Trump.
Very,
That's
very
very Trump to do.
Yes.
And I think he feels that it's justified to self-invite himself simply because he brokered the peace between Cambodia and Thailand.
Oh, you're saying he thought that he like
This is his
brokered the
victory
peace.
lap essentially in the region. You know?
Okay.
He did that whole thing with Cambodia and Thailand, and he let Dato Sri Anwar take the credit for it publicly. You know, in the media and all that. And now he's just coming in, you know, again to be like, you know, I'm the boss. It is what it is. You're gonna listen to me. I think that's just probably what it is. Yeah,
I mean,
honestly.
like, okay, I understand. On one hand, Malaysia is the chairman of the ASEAN for this year.
Yeah.
But why do you think he chose Malaysia? Other than that,
Other than that, I don't know. Like, I think something that we've been going on about over the last couple of months, August and September, I think on the podcast is that we've been talking a lot about how Malaysia has been, especially in recent years, in the wake of COVID, like after the end of COVID and the lockdowns, Malaysia has been quite a shining beacon in the region, you know, in terms, you know, economically. For whatever criticism you want to have about Anwar Ibrahim, he's at least taken, how do you say, I don't know how significant at the end of the day is all going to be, but at the very least it's looked like he's taken the right steps in the direction of improving our economy, especially after what happened under Najib and 1MDB. It seems like Anwar has, although of course nobody's going to deny that there were quite a bit of growing pains early on in his administration, but now that the ship has sort of stabilized a bit, you can see that he's taken a lot of steps, at least towards improving the economy and improving the standard of living of Malaysians. You know,
one thing I worry about Trump's visit to Malaysia, because I understand Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, he wants to fix or repair diplomatic ties with the US, but
which is a lot more important than people think.
Yeah,
You know?
which is true.
Yeah.
But the fact that he holds very, I would say, he holds a very different belief system than, like, compared to a lot of Malaysians. For example, like
Who, Anwar?
No, Trump.
Oh, okay.
Because like Malaysians, we are very pro-Palestine.
Yes.
Whereas the US, they're a huge Israel ally.
Yeah.
And then Malaysia is also like a majority Muslim country. And previously, Trump wanted to...
We are a Muslim country. It's
we are
officially
Muslim,
our religion, yeah.
And Trump wanted to employ this former Australian senator as the ambassador of Malaysia. Do you remember?
Yeah. He's like a pseudo-influencer.
Yeah,
pseudo-influencer.
and he's a very like right-wing conservative guy, which is very like... I would say it's probably not the right person to be the ambassador for Malaysia.
Right.
And having all this into account, Malaysians are not going to be happy about this.
I don't know.
So
don't...
they're going to be maybe like protests on the street when Trump arrives, and I don't know how that will play into Trump's mind.
Yep.
And then he looks at this and then he'll be like, okay, maybe the Malaysians aren't that welcoming of me. 50% tariff.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that factors into his tariff mathematics, I guess.
Okay.
You know, but
Trump's a petty
honestly,
guy.
I don't think he cares. Honestly, he's Malaysia, dude. Like, we are still, you know, a backwater third world country that if we are being honest, we don't really have any significance on the global stage, you know. At least in terms of affecting foreign relations, you know. We in the region, yes.
Yeah, in Southeast Asia, sure.
Yeah. But globally,
yeah.
I don't think Trump cares. He's here. He's making a victory lap. It's not about Malaysia. He's not visiting Malaysia. You know, he's here. He's gonna be here for the ASEAN summit. And it's more of him like going around his fellow heads of states in the region and being like, yeah, I sorted it out for you guys, so you're gonna listen to me. I honestly think it's what it is, you know. Like the bluster and the pomp and pageantry is one thing, but behind the scenes, it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see how our Prime Minister is going to deal with this visit.
You see, people don't know this about Anwar a lot, but when he was a leader of the opposition, he had very close ties to the Americans. You know, under Bush, under Obama, you know, especially under Obama. So, I mean, it's not out of the norm for Datuk Sri Anwar to want to repair relations with the US.
I understand the importance of having the US as an ally, but you know, all over the world, we can see that, especially like in the UN. Okay, we're getting into the UN now. So, in the UN, they have consistently like made votes on stopping, on having a ceasefire in Gaza, stopping the starvation in multiple countries, and a lot of the times when they voted for during these events, a lot of the some of the countries that would veto it, one of them was consistently the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're one of the, I think, only 5 countries that actually have veto power in the UN.
Yeah, which is crazy, because when like over 150 countries have voted one thing, and then this singular country is voting no, and then suddenly everyone has to listen to them. That's crazy. That's too much leverage, too much power, I think.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed that it is too much leverage and power, but they built themselves up over the last 250 years to be the superpower that they are. And you know, the UN headquarters is in New York.
Yeah,
you know, is in the United States.
Yeah,
so don't see things changing, at least for the foreseeable future. It is what it is. The UN, I think now, is getting a lot more pushback against this whole veto power thing, simply because of social media. I think like more people are aware of such a thing, that such an instrument exists within the UN construct. So it is what it is. But the criticisms of veto power has always been the same and will always be the same until it's somehow curbed or banned altogether. Yeah.
But basically last week, a bunch of leaders from different countries, they went over to the UN headquarters, and they all gave speeches. They all discussed on multiple matters.
The president of Colombia even raised the issue of possibly moving the headquarters away from the United States.
Oh yeah. He did. Yeah. And you know, so many leaders you know, had speeches, but the most memorable one, I would say, was
Donald Trump.
Yeah,
let's go.
He made a speech, I think like almost 10 minutes, over 10 minutes, I think.
Right.
Basically he was just complaining how the elevator didn't work. He was complaining how the teleprompter didn't work. He was complaining about immigration, which is the worst issue that is facing our current, you know.
Well, if you are a Westerner and you are living in the West, like the so-called civilized world, then yeah, of course it is. Like, he's not wrong in that sense. Like, it is being threatened, but it's being threatened because Muslims, like, you know, comprise of, right now, especially with I think there are probably more Muslims than Catholics, but it's in, I think both Catholics and Muslims are in the 2 billion range, you know, of followers.
Yeah.
So like, of course it is. If you allow immigration, especially from the Middle East, from the Far East, to come in, of course it's going to be like it's going to feel like Muslims taking over, you know. And then with that many Muslims coming over and creating communities in these countries, of course the culture is going to change as well.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So he's not wrong. And if you are like a white Western Christian man, Of course, or person, you are going to feel like it's threatening your current culture or your way of life.
Yeah. But then again, how did it all this start?
Exactly.
How did all this start?
Yeah. It was the wars.
Yes, it was the wars. And the US was was pretty much involved in the majority of the wars that happened.
Like what happened in Sarajevo, in Serbia.
In Serbia, in Afghanistan, in Syria, even right now they are complicit. In Gaza.
There's no denying that, and I think a lot of people are waking up to that. But like I said, he's not wrong. It is threatening their way of life. If you look at it from our perspective as Easterners, if you want to call it that, or people from the third world, it just means it is not a great thing for us either. If we are going to be honest, completely honest about it, because of a little something called the brain drain. Have you heard of this? The brain drain?
No.
So
I think I did.
Yeah. So the brain drain is basically when you get local
talents.
For example, since we're talking about Malaysia here, when we have local Malaysians who go overseas to study or to work and don't ever come back, and they ended up assimilating and living life overseas in Australia, the UK, the US,
for better wages.
Whatever the motivation is. But there's an argument that the people who are doing that are the best and the brightest of Malaysia, for example. And when they don't come back, unlike the Chinese from mainland China or Indians from India, they actually do go back, and they actually do contribute to their local economies, which in Malaysia it's becoming a thing where they don't come back. And even that's not a great thing. Like
no.
You look at even Middle Eastern physics professors, all the brightest minds. I think only Iran are keeping them in country, but the rest are all like, it's war torn. So like, what government is going to keep you here? Like it's basically there's no borders, no one forcing. So you leave, and that stifles the development of
that
the
country.
said country itself as well.
Yeah.
So
that can something like that can happen it's already happening in Malaysia.
Yeah.
So it can get even worse.
Yeah. And people forget. People either forget or don't know that while Western civilization, even if you say 40 years ago was great, and that's where everybody wanted to go, they had to go through some nasty like the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, and the Civil War, everybody died. Like literally everybody died. There was no medical expertise at the time. There was no, like, if you get shot in the leg, the first thing they did was amputate.
Yeah.
There was no trying to take the bullet out, like, so it was a different thing, and those people suffered greatly in order to build the utopia that they wanted.
Right.
And how to tie this back to the brain drain, my point is that maybe some of these people need to stay in Malaysia, need to go through the suffering of making Malaysia a better country in order
to improve it
for later generations, because we're not going to enjoy the fruits of that labor. It's past us. So it's for the next generations.
Who else is gonna improve Malaysia if not
Malaysians?
Us? If not us.
Agreed.
Anyway, speaking about improving Malaysia, our football team has been under fire recently.
That's the reverse brain drain right there.
Yeah, so that's the opposite of the brain drain.
The opposite.
So it's been in the news recently that 7 of the localized players that are playing for Malaysia. So localized means that they were born from in a different country, they grew up there, but then they moved to Malaysia, and maybe they've played here for several years, and then they were able to get the necessary certificates in order for them to play for Malaysia, basically. So in the past, we've had players who have been naturalized and play for Malaysia, like Muhammad Sumare, even players like Matthew Davis, Corbin Ong. So I mean, they were half Malaysians, but eventually they
were actually half Malaysians.
They were actually half Malaysians. So that's one of the reasons why they were able to play for Malaysia.
Literally one of their parents were Malaysian.
Yeah, that's right. But the recent 7 of the players that
were completely naturalized.
So maybe like one of the grandmother was
great grandmother,
a quarter Malaysian.
Right,
maybe the grandfather was half Chinese Malaysian. I don't know.
Right.
So they basically found these 7 players. They were able to play for Malaysia, and in the last game, I think we won. I think 4-0. I think against Vietnam. I may be wrong.
Right.
But basically, they were people that have been complaining to FIFA. They have made reports, and then eventually
FIFA did an investigation.
And then they pretty much banned these 7 players from playing in any professional football games or tournaments.
Wow.
Yeah, for a year.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the reverse brain drain right there.
Right.
So we ended up inviting so many foreign players to play for Malaysia, and we thought it was cool, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because they played for Malaysian teams, and then they were able, because the fact that they were able to play, which means that they have already made the certain paperwork that they needed to. They already sent it to FIFA, and then FIFA approved it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was TMJ's argument.
That was the MJ's argument.
Yeah.
And then,
so why are you coming after them now?
Why now?
Because
like after
you
they've won,
didn't do your due diligence.
Exactly.
And you're supposed to, because you are FIFA.
Exactly.
And you didn't, and you still approved them. So now you're just covering your asses and putting the blame on us.
Yeah.
Right?
So now whose side are we supposed to believe? Like we.
I know, man. I don't think naturalized players should be a thing. You know, like if we take out the politics of it, what FIFA did, what the people were, forget about all that. I don't like all that is minute detail to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like the crux of it, I believe, is simply that we shouldn't be having naturalized players. Like if you want to compete, like have a proper system, a proper academy system and everything. Have local Malaysian players. End of story. If we don't get to where we want to get, like in terms of like national ranking and all that, world rankings for our national team and all that, that's unfortunate. But you just gotta keep trying to improve. You know, like I have quite a unique take on that as well. I honestly don't think that we should be allocating so much resources to football in Malaysia.
Okay. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Like it's not our sport.
It's the biggest sport.
Of course.
In Malaysia.
I'm in the world.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm not denying it.
Yeah.
But I think we've been independent for 62 years, right? I think it's kind of been proven that Malaysians are not good at football. You know, like at the end of the day, we don't have any players that are earning any decent money in any of the professional clubs in Europe or even in Japan. You know, like we don't have talent at least in football.
Okay, I would argue.
You could argue, but to me, proof is in the pudding. You know,
okay, fair enough.
The results show themselves. You know, like I'm not saying that we can't play football. I'm not saying that we don't have players that know how to play football. We do. But there are other factors that are limiting us. Physicality, not physical ability, but the physique. You know, like we're not naturally big.
As big, yeah.
You
as
know,
some
or
of the
as
other European,
athletic.
yeah.
You know, like that's not our thing. So,
okay,
like if we want to compete regionally, that's one thing, you know. But on the global stage, we just can't. So, to be honest with you, like badminton. Okay, let's look at BM.
Yeah,
all right.
That's a good example.
Badminton has at least since before Lee Chong Wei, since the Sidek brothers. Okay, let's go back all the way there. We've always been consistently doing well in badminton tournaments on the world stage. Why not have like properly compensate these players? You know, like when Datuk Niko David was dominating the squash scene, right? She had sponsors from everyone in Malaysia. Everyone in Malaysia wanted to sponsor her, and she became a millionaire just off of playing squash, which was unheard of. You know, it's even unheard of today. The world. Do you know who the world number one in squash is today?
No.
Men or women. So we don't know.
We only know Nicole David.
We only know Nicole David. You know, and she even became a global superstar. You know, but my point is that if that same infrastructure were to be replicated for badminton, I think we'd be like on the level of China in terms of our badminton program. You know, like we, at least in terms of talent, we have it.
Yes,
it's proven that we have the talent to piggyback off. You know,
we're talking about badminton.
Okay, like in terms of football, unfortunately we just don't have it. Like everyone, yes, it's a male sport. It's a male-dominated sport. All males have egos. They want to say they're good at, football. Is the one thing that from a kid everyone wants to be good at. You know, wherever you grow up, you be Palestinian, you're Malaysian, you're in a war-torn country, whatever it is, there's always some form of a ball that you can kick around with your mates, right? That's the beauty of football. Fine, but in terms of an actual professional sport that you want to allocate millions and millions of dollars to, ringgit to, I don't think it's wise.
Okay, here's my argument. You're right, football is the biggest sport in Malaysia, and it is the biggest sport in the world. I wouldn't say I have traveled the world, but I've traveled to a lot of countries. I've played football in different countries.
Okay.
And for a Malaysian, I would say, having played abroad and playing in Malaysia, I would say Malaysians do have the technical ability. We're just as good, if not better, than some of the other people from other countries. Even some of the best freestylers in the world are Malaysians. Best football freestyler. And I've worked in like grassroots football scene. I've worked at events, in football tournaments, in games. We have a lot of talented players. And having played I've played in England. Sure, their players are a lot bigger. They have like the better facilities, better coaches. They have one thing that they have is that they have a platform for the players and better opportunities for the players. Whereas over here, we have the players, but we don't have the platforms or the place to take the players to the next level. I would say over here, unfortunately, it's very corrupt, especially in the footballing scene in Malaysia. So a lot of the players don't get the necessary exposure or the necessary opportunity for them to try. So Malaysians, we do have the talent. It's just that we don't have the platform for the players to go into the next step. Sure, we have the Major League, the Liga Super Malaysia, but for that league, JDT has been dominating for like over a decade or so.
It's hard to compete when you're delaying wages to players for like 3 months. You know?
And then JDT is 1 point. Okay, so JDT is a team that has been proven if you don't invest, if you invest the money properly into getting the right coaches, into getting the best facilities, into getting the best players, you can eventually raise the next Malaysian footballers. For example, like right now, Arif Aiman, he's been playing for JDT for years now. He's only like what, 22, 21?
Okay, no, fair. But my point is that could any of them play in Europe? Would any of the European teams want them to play for them?
Okay, and that's another thing. I think mentally, our football mentality in Malaysia is nowhere. We're still like third country when it comes to our footballing mentality. Like we're not as developed as some of the other Western countries. Like even our scouting, our coaching, it's even our football pitches. It's nowhere near as good as maybe like in Japan or in South Korea. You know, these Asian countries that are like thriving in football. And to say that physically we're nowhere near as big, Japanese players aren't big. Even some of the Spanish players aren't big, but they were able to dominate. South Korean players aren't big, but they can dominate. They can play. So it's not about the matter of physically.
Like, if you look at small players in Europe who end up on the professional stage and becoming legends, right?
Okay.
Gennaro Gattuso or Xavi or Iniesta. These guys are like Hall of Fame players, dude. Like, there's the kind of talent that it takes, you know? So that's what I'm saying. Like, Malaysia, we have not produced that kind of level of talent since what?
Mokhtar
Hari.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, I agree with you on a lot of those points actually. But only at an amateur level. You know, like there's so many, like my brothers, both of them, they on a youth level, they both represented Malaysia. They went to play in the World Youth Cup, you know, the Gothia Cup, when they were, I think, 15 and 13 years old. Granted, my parents had to allocate a lot of resources in order for them to join the academy, and then eventually had to pay for their tickets and accommodation and board and everything to go and play overseas and all that. Yeah. And that came out of my mom and dad's pockets, you know. And I understand that not everyone is in a position to be doing that. Like my parents were not so well to do when we were younger, but they sacrificed a lot in order because basically because they believe my brothers had the talent to go and play football on a national international level. But at the end of the day, both of my brothers, even despite having that kind of exposure and training,
were not able to.
They're not professional players. You know, they're not close to the level of European professional players. Never will be. You know, you could argue maybe if they were like 8 hours a day training, something could have happened. But like I said, to me, from my point of view, the proof is in the pudding. You know, like we've had, yes, you're right, corruption is rife in FAM. However, the cream is supposed to rise to the top. Like, when you have talent, skill and all that, and work ethic and discipline, you're supposed to overcome all the corruption. You're supposed to overcome all that. Like Nazmi Faiz playing in Portugal, right? He was supposed to. He was earning 10,000 euros a week. Which was small money. Small money for Europe. But big money for Malaysia. Okay, it was small money for Europe. But for a Malaysian player to be playing in Portugal and earning that kind of money, like, he still didn't last. Still came back after not even a year. So it is what it is. And, you know, to me, if the government's going to allocate this kind of resources, at this point, it seems like an ego thing more than something actually productive. You know, I fully believe, despite the state of BAM, what BAM is in right now, BAM is still our best chance to shine on the sporting level, on the sporting stage at an international level, in my opinion.
Okay, so my question is, do we even need localized players, like at this point? Because like we talked about, we have the talent, we do have the players, but it's a process. And then for you to, I mean, not to say cheat, but you're just like stepping over a few what do you call it, steps.
Okay, I get what you mean.
So, but it's only like a short-term solution.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? So after these localized players, they've played, they retired, then what? Who's gonna replace them? So for me, I feel like we don't need too many. Maybe 2 or 3.
We don't need a single one.
Yeah,
we don't need even one.
Yeah. So I personally feel like we should just use the players that we have.
Yeah. Right.
The players that we have. If we lose, we lose.
We lose.
Yeah.
Embrace the suck, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, people see, that's the thing. People don't have the patience for that anymore, and you should, like, embracing the suck and getting like going into a dark tunnel, going through the suck and the suffering, and then coming out the other end a much better player, much better product. There's nothing more satisfying, dude. Dude, over the last 2 months, I've been in that tunnel, pedal-wise.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
And pedals is even worse because, yes, it's a team sport, sort of. It's a double sport. But you're in charge of your own skill at the end of the day. You know, your teammate can only help you so much. And over the last 2 months, I was like in that tunnel where I was trying to figure out how to get better. Like, I felt like I was stuck. I wasn't progressing properly, you know, all that And at the end of the day, it was just a matter of a mindset switch, a mentality switch where you think like, okay, this is the moment when I have to go through, embrace being not as good as the people that I play with. But eventually, if I play with these guys enough, if I play with decent level of competition enough, I'm going to get better.
Yeah.
And that's where I end up now. The same thing can be said for FAM. You know?
You have to go through the...
Don't allocate. Right now you're allocating, for example, I don't know how much the budget is, but let's say it's 100 million a year. Okay? To FAM. What's wrong with cutting that to 10? Or 20 or 25? Whatever. A smaller number. Okay? Just use localized players. Don't have the nationalized players. Just use the local players. Okay? Don't use the nationalized players. Keep the budget small. And grow the budget as the results of the local players are growing. You know? Do that kind of thing. Rather than try to force a square peg into a round hole. You know?
As Dolly Parton once said, you gotta put up with the rain to get to the rainbow.
I did not think Han would be quoting Dolly Parton.
But I like the metaphor, the analogy that you used just now. You go inside the hole and then you come out of the hole.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, it is what it is. Just embrace it, dude. Like, and Malaysians, if you want to whine and complain about it, dude, we've been sucking since Motadari left. Dude, so what more can you complain about?
How much more can we suffer?
How much lower can it go?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, do it organically, do it the right way. And of course you have to weed out the corruption. There's also another major thing.
Yes.
Not as easy to deal with as the other issues, of course. But you know, it is what it is. If
that's a separate topic that I think we should talk about.
But if a country like Palestine can have a national football team, what's our excuse?
And they're doing so much better than Malaysia.
What's our excuse?
And they're going through a genocide.
What's our excuse? That's all I'm saying, you know? So yeah, maybe 100 mil go down to 25 mil. Or something.
Yeah, and I do agree with the point that we should invest in other sports that we are actually good at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, so we actually have time for one more news. So the next news is local news. I'm not sure if you've seen this, but it's actually gone viral over the last few days. There was it was a scene in a pharmacy. Okay, so a woman, she noticed, she checked her husband's location. She noticed that her husband has been at the pharmacy for like an hour or so. Okay, so she was like curious. Okay, so what's going on? So she went to the pharmacy, she went to the clinic, and then when she was there, she saw that he was waiting at the counter with a mysterious random lady.
The husband was waiting.
The husband was waiting at the counter with a lady.
Oh, so he was still at the pharmacy?
She was still at the pharmacy.
Okay.
So the wife was just recording the whole thing.
Okay.
She was just waiting. And then she waited for a few minutes, and then as soon as they were done, both the husband and the lady turned around, and then the husband like tried to put the hand over the lady. And then they saw that the wife was recording, and then they just very awkwardly like. And then the husband started playing with his phone like as if nothing happened. And then the lady felt so awkward. She walked out, and then the wife chased after her, pulled her hair, and then she was like, "Asal, kau kenapa? And then like the wife was like, Kau siapa? And then basically made a whole scene at the pharmacy. They were just like chasing each other, and then at one point, a boy saw all this happening, and then he just shouted, "Ayah, abang tu curang," and then the whole scene just like went over. And then the wife confronted the lady, and then she was like, Kau siapa? And then she was like, Kau tanya husband kau. And this scene was pretty much seen by Malaysian on the internet.
It went viral.
It went viral
on Malaysian threads, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. It went viral on Malaysian TikTok, and then now everyone everywhere is doing.
God damn.
Kau tanya husband kau. Everywhere.
If I go home and D's doing that to me, oh my god, I'm gonna be so pissed. Someone's getting an elbow.
No, okay. But the point of me telling you the story is because in Malaysia, that's like our entertainment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Our culture for Malays
Suka jaga tepi kain
orang,
Yeah.
and like it's something that we see a lot in Malaysian drama. It's
Yeah.
something that we've covered previously, is that Malay men like to cheat.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is the stereotype, isn't it?
That's the stereotype,
That is
and
the stereotype.
this scene does not help at all. Makes people like me look, like everywhere I go.
Why like you? I'm Malay too. What the are you saying, dude? Holy No, like, okay. Number one, I have so many questions.
Okay.
First question is, why is this turning on live location when he's going to see his mistress? He's a idiot or what?
Okay. I don't know. But I think the wife saved like his location or something. I don't think he shared it to people. It's just that the wife happened to have his location.
If you're gonna cheat your wife, turn off on your iPhone. Okay? Like, make it simple for yourself.
No,
dude.
don't cheat on your wife, first of all. But
if you're going to,
be smart lah.
Dude, yeah, be smart lah. Come on. Okay, all jokes aside, holy though.
Yeah.
Like, dude, the mistress had all sorts of balls I didn't know people would have in 2025. Like, holy though. Like, you are the mistress. What the are you doing talking to the wife like that?
Yeah.
You know, like, have some, I don't know, dude.
No, I think everyone was just defensive at that point.
No, you know why?
What?
I think this probably promised her that he was gonna marry her. That's why she felt all sorts of emboldened. No? This dumbass was like, yeah, I'm gonna divorce her, marry you.
Because she knew that the guy had a wife.
Yeah,
She
clearly.
was like, Kau tanya husband kau?
Yeah.
Kan?
Yeah, so he wasn't offended.
Yeah.
You know.
So the lady, she pretty much went after the wife went after the lady. She didn't go after the husband so much, but there was a point in the video where she like slapped him in the face.
Ooh.
And it was so satisfying to see.
The wife slapped the
The
husband.
wife slapped him.
Ooh.
It was so sad. And both like the husband and the mistress did nothing. Like
Terkejut lah.
terkejut, like and then everyone was just like stunned. Like, what just happened?
Holy
Yes, but that's Malaysian
I know,
drama that was brought to reality.
I know.
You know
man.
what I mean?
I think something similar happened in Singapore as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then turned out that the guy was just picking up a pre-loved handbag that he bought for his wife. And the wife was like, why you cheat on me?
Okay, that was a misunderstanding.
That was a misunderstanding. That was funny. Yeah.
But
that
this
was hilarious.
was just like,
I know, man. Like,
it's
I
just
know.
funny.
I don't know. The only time I leave the house is to come here to shoot the podcast or go to Joy and play paddle.
Yeah.
You know? So
Not all Malay men cheat.
not all Malay men cheat. I
You
mean,
know?
that's not fair to us, okay? We have feelings too.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't cheat. Like, not all Malay men cheat though. Like,
Yeah.
Anip has had quite a colourful history, but he never cheats. Never cheats.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Okay. Okay. On that note, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today.
That was a good ending.
Yeah.
That was a good ending. Though. You dumb. Why?
Yes.
Dude, don't bring your phone. Use an Android.
Yes. First of all,
Hell, buy a burner. Oppo has so many cheap phones. Just buy an Oppo, buy a Hotlink, put it together, habis cerita.
yes.
You
I
know?
mean, first of all, don't cheat.
And use the mistress's IC. Don't use yours.
Oh,
So she
okay.
cannot track you down when you register the hotlink number. Come on, bro.
I did not expect you to be dropping knowledge for cheaters.
No. This is not for cheaters. This is not specifically for cheaters. But, like, be
smart.
savvy lah. Be savvy. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. It's 2025.
Yeah.
So many avenues. You all shouldn't be getting caught as much as you are, though. Honestly. These people. Stupid. Melayu nak buat kerja,
Not a good look for Malay people
No,
this week.
man. Melayu buat kerja always halfway.
Aura orang Melayu turun this week.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's all the time we have.
Need to start dancing on boats again.
And that's not even Malay, that's Indonesian.
Oh.
Yeah, but
We're the same people, Nip.
we're the same people.
We're the
that's
same
true,
people,
that's
Nip.
true.
Come on.
Orang Nusantara.
Don't be racist. Don't be racist.
Alright, that's all the time we have for this episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any topics or issues that you think we should talk about, let us know in the comments. And any word before we get off the air?
Yeah, I just want to plug next weekend, 11th October, is going to be the Paddle Community Cup.
Oh, yeah.
So please, any one of you that's interested in paddle, wants to check out what paddle is going all about, please come. All the major 8 major communities, paddle communities that are around KL and PJ are going to be in attendance and participating and competing. So drop by, get to know the paddle community and have some fun.
It's free, right?
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Just drop by, free.
So what time from-
There's gonna be lots of booths and sponsors. It's basically from it's 8 a.m. On the 11th October. It starts at 8 a.m. all the way until midnight. There's gonna be after
okay.
party and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So drop by anytime you want.
Alright.
Stay as long as you want or as short as you want. Doesn't matter. Just come, bring the vibes.
All right. And on that note, I also have one show to plug. On the same date also, on the 11th of October, I am hosting an open mic night at Big Boss HSP Bukit
Let's
Jelutong.
go.
So it'll be a night of poetry, music, and stand-up comedy.
Let's go.
So if you want to hear some stupid one-liners by me,
Ooh, damn.
check it out. So it'll be from 8:30 p.m. Until late at night. Free admission. So if you guys are free, I hope to see you guys there.
Yep.
Alright.
Let's go.
And on that note, we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Peace.
Let's go.